For as long as I can remember, I have been telling you guys that ESPN has become nothing but a joke. ESPN, they were once a major player in this country. They were respected. They used to go by the tagline, the worldwide leader in sports, and it was the truth. For the majority of my life, ESPN has been the leader when it came to sports. Matter of fact, they were the only option for sports enthusiasts. Everything else on television had competition, not ESPN. They went unopposed for decades. People who worked at ESPN, they used to be mainstream stars. Dan Patrick, Keith Olbermann, Colin Cowherd, Stuart Scott. The network used to have influence. They used to be trusted. No one trusts ESPN anymore. You cannot trust anything that they get behind, that they promote. They have been infected with the sickness of the woke agenda, and it's destroying them from within. ESPN went from having massive influence to being the butt of jokes. No one respects them anymore. You had this crown jewel, something you thought could never be taken down. ESPN is dying a slow, painful death. I've said it before. If things continue to go like they are right now for ESPN, in 10 years, I think we could see ESPN cease to exist. If you want proof of how much of a joke ESPN has become, look at what happened today. Every year before college football, ESPN features high school football. They usually pick the top teams in the country and feature them on national television. During his high school days, Tim Tebow was featured on ESPN a couple of times. Back in the mid-2000s, when Hoover High School was a powerhouse, a school outside of Birmingham in Alabama, they used to be featured all the time on ESPN. The point is, ESPN used to find the best high school football teams in the country and put them on national television every August before the college football season kicked off. This year, the feature game was IMG Academy going up against Bishop Sycamore. Now you're probably thinking, who in the hell are these teams? I thought the same thing, but I don't keep up with high school football, so not knowing a damn thing about either team shouldn't be surprising. Apparently, ESPN didn't know a damn thing about these teams either, at least one of them anyway. During the middle of the second quarter, with IMG Academy up 30-0, listen to what the play-by-play announcer on ESPN says. And I apologize in advance for the sound quality. I pulled this video from Twitter. I didn't want to get hit with a copyright strike by ESPN. Hopefully, they won't strike this video. But just listen to what the ESPN play-by-play announcer admits on the air.
Bishop Sycamore told us they had a number of Division I prospects on their roster. To be frank, a lot of that we could not verify. And they did not show up in our database. They did not show up in the databases of other recruiting services. So it's okay. If that's what you're telling us, fine. That's how we take it in. From what we've seen so far, this is not a fair fight. And there's got to be a point now, Ludes, where you do worry about health and safety.
I already am worried about it. I think it's this could potentially be dangerous given the circumstances and the mismatch that we have here. And quite honestly, Bishop Sycamore doesn't have not only the frontline players, but they don't have the depth in case something were to happen to their roster with maybe a kid or two here throughout the remaining 2.5 quarters of this football game.
Are you kidding me? Did you just hear that? Let me get this straight. The head coach for Bishop Sycamore tells ESPN that he has a lot of Division I caliber players on his roster. And that was enough to put them on national television? Because the head coach tells you that? I mean, you just took his word for it? Obviously, ESPN did not take this at face value. They admit on the air that they did their due diligence and fact-checked the coach's claim. They admit that they were unable to find much information about Bishop Sycamore. They couldn't find their players in the ESPN recruiting database. But that doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and feature them anyway. What can go wrong? I did some research on Bishop Sycamore. It took me about 5 minutes to find this information. The school is fairly new, started around 2018, maybe even 2017. It is a program dedicated to at-risk youth. The football team went 1-11 in 2018, 4-5 in 2019, 0-6 in 2020. Last year, in the middle of a pandemic, when many high school football teams shut down, Bishop Sycamore was having trouble finding enough players to fill out their roster. They couldn't get guys to come play. In 3 years, this team has won 5 football games. They are 5-22 in 3 years. This team is a scrub. They're scrubs. They have no business being on national television. Like I said, I found all this information in 5 minutes. You mean to tell me ESPN couldn't find this information? Of course they did. Of course they knew. ESPN knew exactly what they were doing. IMG Academy is one of the top high school football programs in the country. They are loaded with Division I talent. I'm about to tell you what I think happened here. Now, this is just my theory. I don't have anything to back this up. I don't have anything to verify what I'm about to tell you. This is just my thoughts based on everything I know about ESPN and how they base their decisions the past 2 years. Like I said, Bishop Sycamore is a program dedicated to at-risk youth. And let's just be real here. Let's be real. Put it all out on the table. There are at-risk youth of all races. But when people say that term, most of the time, they are talking about inner city kids. The head coach of Bishop Sycamore is a black man. How does ESPN make their decisions? All decisions at ESPN are made through the lens of race, through the lens of pleasing the agenda. ESPN saw an African American school led by an African American coach who told them his team was full of D1 caliber talent. ESPN knew he was lying. They knew he was lying, but it didn't matter. Because like I say all the time, they never let facts get in the way of promoting the agenda. They put this team on national television, and they proceeded to get their ass kicked. There starts to be concerns about the safety of the players on Bishop Sycamore. They are physically outmatched. They don't belong on the field against a team like IMG Academy. At this point, ESPN starts to panic. They force their play-by-play guy to issue that apology, I guess, and briefly explain their version of what happened. And they completely throw the head coach at Bishop Sycamore under the bus. They blamed him for this debacle. Wrong. ESPN is to blame for this, not the head coach at Bishop Sycamore. He was just trying to promote his program. This is ESPN's fault. You knew this team was outmatched. You knew they had no business on that field with IMG Academy. But you put them out there anyway because you were making another decision based off race. That's just my theory of what happened. I could be wrong, but honestly, I don't think that's far from the truth. But you let me know. Give me your thoughts on ESPN putting Bishop Sycamore on national television, then blaming their head coach for lying to them. Sound off in the comments below. Let me know what you think about this situation. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow.